Today's episode could be called Bedtime Stories with Rohini Ramnathan. Hi guys, my hair is a complete mess because I just washed it. Anyone else washing their hair on a Thursday night? Come say hi. Hi, this is the KASHISH Film Festival handle. My name is Rohini, and I'm very excited to be speaking to a very special guest this evening. She is a friend, she is an actor, she started off as a VJ. Actually, she started off as a roadie. I'm speaking about the one and only Bani J, Bani Judge, VJ Bani, however it is you know her. I'm having a very special conversation with her tonight, and it's so cool right now because I'm just in my house, I'm just chilling. It's a Thursday night, and I can't wait for her to join us. So I hope she's going to join us soon. In the meantime, let me tell you a fun story. I met Bani personally. This is a story about how I met Bani. Are you ready? Hi, Taraya. So this is story time tonight with Rotox, yeah? So I met Bani once on a flight to Jaipur. And we were both going to cover the IPL match. And I was representing radio, and Bani was representing, thank you, if you like my earrings. And Bani was representing MTV. And I saw her on the flight, and then we knew each other because I was at one point, one of the contestants on an MTV VJ hunt. So we kind of met there, we bonded. We didn't know each other too well at all. And then she met me on the flight, and she's like, hey, which hotel are you staying in? And I said, I don't know, some hotel, not even a 3-star hotel. And obviously, she was staying at this really, really cool hotel. And I don't know if Bani remembers this at all, but she was staying, I think, at a 5-star, like one of the Taj properties. And she's like, what rubbish, you come and stay with me. And I went over and I stayed at Bani's hotel with her. And in that moment, I was so grateful. Immediately, instantly, and I think she's joined already, which is insane. I'm going to try and invite her up because this is the woman I'm talking about. And I went and it was so gracious of her to do that for me. I mean, I was also there working that beat, right? And then
I was enjoying the story. Why did the story stop?
Do you even remember this?
I do not. I was like, which hotel? What is she talking about?
But so I think you were staying in a really fancy Taj property. And then you were like, you're like, what rubbish? You come stay with me. And then I stayed on the night. We stayed together. The next morning we had breakfast, and that was the first time I knew that you ate oats for breakfast. And like a lot of nuts. And this is like, guys, first of all, this is like over 10 years ago.
Okay? I was just going to say, this must have been so long ago, and just imagine. But yeah, a testament to my oat eating breakfast.
I was like, oh my God, who is this lovely person? And if you don't know Bani, or if you didn't know Bani at that time, she was this rough and tough, like, don't mess with me chick. And that was the impression that most people get the first time they meet her. Until you actually speak to her, like literally just speak to her. She's like a milk drop full of kindness. And me to you, and I said, wow. And I wished you well. I still remember how well I wished you in my heart. And I said, I hope this girl goes on and does everything that she wants to and she loves to. And here you are, inspiring so many people. Your Instagram is a family. So I just want to acknowledge your own Instagram. Do you want to say hello to your fans, Bunny?
What's up, B fam? How's it going? I love them, dude. They're the sweetest. Like, in terms of, I know everybody thinks that their fans and whatever, everybody has names for them, are like the best. But in terms of how patient they are, because I don't post so often as compared to other people. So the fact that I am not as active on all of my social media platforms, especially when I'm traveling, the fact that these guys just wait, they're like, it's okay, it'll come, we know she's okay and whatever, I really appreciate the patience factor in this whole thing. So yeah, it's quite awesome.
दीदी और दीदी बात करेंगी हमसे, हम दीदी के लिए रुकेंगे.
So
amazing. Bunny, I like most of your fans, I am a fan too, so let me start off with that. I follow you. I love the sort of messaging that you put out. Of course, you're there to talk about fitness. Of course, you're there to talk about your work. But I think outside of all of that, some of my favorite moments of following you on Instagram are, when you literally adopted those pigs. And every day, all I did was wait for Bani J's pig updates. And I hope that they're doing well. Oh my God, like, do you miss them?
I miss them. I miss my dog also. I miss the pigs. I miss the cats. I'm like I've adopted so many animals. It's a little crazy, but I have a system in place of people who I'm very thankful for. So even when I'm not at home, I know that my animals, my cats, my dogs are being taken care of. The pigs is a little harder on this side of situation simply because Indians don't generally like pigs. It's like they don't look at them like they're cute little smart animals that should be respected, so it's a little difficult with the pigs, but they're all grown up now. I see them, even like I saw them literally a week before I left also, and I really want to get them all neutered, so I've been trying to figure out a source to get them neutered because I don't want them to keep multiplying. So yeah, that is the struggle at the moment.
Well, I hope that they're all okay. And yeah, if you're, I know your followers know, but today you're talking to us at Kashish. Kashish Film Festival, of course, is South Asia's largest queer film festival. And we're so happy that you are part of our festival in this way today on Instagram, even though it's like freaking morning in New York right now.
Morning, India. I just up just an hour ago.
लाइक वहां पर सुबह हो रही है और यहाँ पर रात हो रही है, यहाँ पर मैं बेड टाइम स्टोरीज पढ़ रही हूँ और यहाँ पर दीदी इज गेटिंग रेडी फॉर हर डे. सो वी वांट टू फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल स्टार्ट ऑफ बाय सेइंग thank you so much for giving us your time. You gave it to us last year as well as part of the festival. And I'll tell you, this association, of course, came to be because of this wonderful role that you played, as Umang in Four More Shots, Please. So let me just start off by saying, I watched season 1 and I liked it. I was like, Maja, this is fun. This is good fun. Season 2, however, just took all of that fun, made it serious, and gave us a show that stealthily, very quietly became so much more than just 4 girls having fun. And I think that was the story. Like, ultimately, that entire season was about you and your love for your partner. So I'm going to rewind. Okay, I'm going to rewind and ask you, you're not an actor conventionally, Bunny. You're not somebody who's like, मुझे actor बनने, तुम्हें actor तो बनने नहीं आना था ना?
No, I'm not a conventional actor for sure, but I get a little like I don't understand why people don't consider me an actor. Like I just don't understand why. But it's okay, yeah. It's all right.
No. Let's talk about before the show started. After the show, of course, we call you an actor now. But before the show started, did you consider yourself an actor?
I knew that I had it in me, and I just knew that it had to be. It was gonna be shown at the right time. So I wasn't in a hurry. I mean, people who know me also know this about me. Like I've been in the industry since I was 18, dude. Like it's not like I haven't done movies before. It's not like I haven't been a part of shows before. I have, but when it comes to like acting is mainly got to do a lot with vulnerability on the screen. That's what I feel. So I feel as though as we're all on our journeys anyway in life, in terms of our growth and all of that, there's a lot of work that we all have to do, and life will keep serving you up more and more lessons, and you gotta like do your best to keep up with it. And if you don't, well, then best of luck. But so I knew that I was parallelly on this journey of my own personal journey in life, and along with that, there was also work and everything happening. And I just knew that there was going to be a moment in time when I was completely ready as me as a person to kind of showcase um, everything that life was teaching me in an art form like acting.
Yeah.
So I was just waiting ki it'll happen, and I know it's gonna happen. And then Four More Shots happened basically, and I think this is the project which everyone was just like, she can act. What? So yeah.
Yeah. And that was exactly that. Not only did you act, you made us cry, you made us feel. And I think it was such a beautifully written part. Hey, come on, man. Like, you're so bad with compliments, Bani.
So
You, every
in my mind, I was like, she has no idea. Or like all of the people who've been following me since Big Boss would be like, "Itna rulaya, ma'am, aapne pata hai, हर रोज मैं रोता था," and all that. Very sweet. So I was like, dude, I was like, you don't know how much what I was going through in that house, but thank you. So yeah, that's that's why I went. Sorry to sidetrack you.
Not at all. I think that with that show, I think a lot of people connected with you because of the vulnerability, as you said. And I want to understand, because today we're speaking at Kashish. Kashish is, of course, a showcase, a platform for queer cinema, right? For all the queer stories of the world. That's what we call ourselves. What was your understanding, A, of the queer community, And of course, going into the role, what did you have in your head or your mind, in the way the role when you read it versus what the creators had written? Tell us a little bit about that.
So my initial meeting for Four More Shots was with Rongata and Ishita, who are the Nandi sisters, as we know them, and they want to meet me at this cafe in Bandra, which now looking back was a huge step for them to come to Bandra, like step out of town to come meet me. Like what?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we met right at like the tip of touching Hooghly. It's so funny. So anyway, we met there. This is a big joke for everyone who's watching about people who live in the suburbs in Bombay and townies. There's like you cross the bridge and all, na, so it becomes a big scene. Arey, like suburb, arey, townie, like that. Anyway,
I
so
Bandra for you.
yeah, exactly. So Bandra becomes like neutral territory. It's like no, it's in the middle and all, na. So anyway, so we met there for this meeting with them and. They were pitching the whole show to me and this character called Umang, and they said just read the script, like we'll send it to you, and they described it like this, and they had this whole PowerPoint presentation and stuff that I was looking at, and I was like, okay, and I was pretty like, okay, this is exciting, and then when I got the script, I was a little taken aback because she came across extremely like angry and aggressive the way they had written Umang originally, like just really like angry, and I was like, why is she so angry? Like, why is she so angry? Like, and I was like, and I don't want to play like an angry person. Like, anybody, it's so long in the industry, everyone just thinks I'm like this angry, but I'm not an angry person, guys. Like,
She's not.
face, it's just that. So I was like, please. So anyway, then the cool thing about that meeting was that when we walked away from it, they obviously offered it to me, and I was the first person to actually be signed onto the show. Yes, and then I was like, yeah, I was like, I don't know who's gonna come on next, but I'm here. Let's do this. And they basically rewrote Umang after they met me to make her more like me, which I thought was amazing. And then there's obviously got a lot to do with the way that you decide to perform or execute a dialogue or a scene. And then, of course, I just really love the fact that so far both the directors that we've had have been so collaborative. The whole set is very collaborative, actually, and I I don't know. I like to consider myself extremely blessed because if there's anything that I want to change on set in terms of I feel like it should be like this and I feel like better going this way about it, they're always like go for it. There have been a few times they've been like no, but it has to be like this, but maximum number of times like 9 out of 10 it's just like okay, yes, go for it. So it was cool to have like garnered the kind of trust with the director and between the director and myself to be able to have enough freedom to just for them to trust me with Umang. So it was so cool. So yeah, and that can only happen if I trust myself with what I'm doing. So
I
it was
totally get it. No, and sometimes you also have a serious case of imposter syndrome, right? Where you don't know where you are at, like, are you deserving? But I feel that these are things that all artists go through. You ask yourself these questions.
happened
No,
to me. No, dude, I don't
never.
question. Like I'm here for a reason, dude. So I'm here to do this, and this is my job, and I'm gonna do it, and that's literally it. I don't question it after that, and I think the problem is that a lot of people just keep questioning it, and that questioning just doesn't stop in their minds. But like we have the power to stop it and just be like, no, I'm in the right place. I'm meant to do this. This is that I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. Like that's why you're here and you're doing this. So how can you possibly question it? So there's obviously either that or you're just like not being as authentic as you should be.
Authentic, yes, absolutely. Bunny, one reason why there are people who follow you and people who love you and say we're so inspired is the fact that you have always been authentic, right? But it takes courage. Like you do it very effortlessly, and that's what we know because it seems effortless, at least. So let me give you that compliment, at least.
I'm taking
But
it.
yes, yes, yes. It seems effortless. But I know that it's a struggle for most people to be authentic or find that voice. We're going to talk about that a little later. But I want to ask you today, as Kashish, what was the understanding that you had of the community? And especially before you wanted to attempt to represent a community, what was important to you to get right?
Well, it wasn't just me, it was also hats off to the producers, obviously, because they also did not, they were very careful about, not careful, I shouldn't, careful isn't the right word. They were they were ready to take on this so-called challenge to represent a queer character on screen and do justice to it. So I think more than me, they were very like, we gotta do a good job and we gotta like make sure that this isn't like, you know, we're not making a mockery of anything and we don't want to be caricaturish or anything like that. It's gonna be very real. And I was like, yeah. And it was, for some reason, I just went on this road completely fearlessly, and I had like no doubts in my mind about what I had to do and how I was gonna do it or anything like that. I had no questions in my mind about it. I was just like, it's gonna be great. I just knew it was gonna be great, and I went in with that intention every day. I was like, it's just whatever happens today is gonna be right. Like it was literally like that, and I'm so thankful that it 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 came across. So I was like, yes, it's happening. Like, you know, but I think one of the most important things obviously was that you don't want anyone to make a joke of you being in love with somebody of the same sex, because that is what happens all the time. It's just too common. Like everyone's like, no, you can't really be in love with her. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? And I'm just like, why? Why can't I be in love with her? What are you like? Why? And the thing is, it's so easy for everyone to just say like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with the same-sex couples and, you know, same-sex relationships, until it is somebody in front of you or somebody that you know, and they're holding hands with somebody else of the same sex, and you know, you're just like, then something gets super triggered in them, and then they, I don't know if they realize it, but you definitely realize that, oh, you're not actually okay with this, but you say you are in principle. And that's the biggest difference, I think, and that's where the biggest disconnect comes with so many people thinking in theory, yeah, of course, no, that's right, yeah. But then if it takes place in front of you, you're like, hey man, oh, then you're like, oh, but I think I was okay with this, but I'm not actually. So there's like this, it's very complex, man, because human beings are so complex, but it's also very simple. Like, it just shows you how accepting you are of yourself and other people, um, and how pre-programmed our beliefs are, and how you can do so much work to let go of all that. But I have to say that the queer community, LGBTQIA plus in India, has shown my character so much support. It has been insane. Like the number of people that came out, and like I said this in so many interviews after season one, especially, that my inbox in my DMs are just like rainbows and sunshine of like people just coming out to me every single day. And like, you know, and obviously not every single person is like happy about it. Some people are like, I don't know what to do, and thank you so much, and this character really helped me understand what I'm going through and stuff like that. And like, and I get some really heartbreaking stories as well, obviously, because everything is not rainbows and sunshine all the time. um yeah, man. And it just like, I couldn't take the credit for it. I was just like, this was meant to happen, and I'm just glad that I got to be a part of it, you know what I mean? So it was, yeah, and I just felt like it was really important to do this. So yeah, it's
Thank
pretty
you. That's beautiful. And it's, yeah, you don't understand how massive
impact. Yeah,
impact, you know,
yeah,
a role can have. Also, I'm so happy that the show did what it did,
yeah,
you know, to take two female characters and make their wedding the centerpiece of an entire
yeah.
season.
Everybody was like, yeah,
Yeah, and you know, that to me, like, I remember the show got a bit of not criticism, but at least a lot of talk about the facts that, you know, there were these four girls sitting on Marine Drive talking about vaginas. You
yeah,
know, that broke
yeah,
a lot of people, you know, so, and it broke some barriers there, because people are like, oh my God, like, is that really feminist? Is this feminism? Is this the new feminism? And I
yeah,
was like, you know what, guys, like, you guys don't want to hear this. Like,
yeah.
that's like, you don't want us to talk about this. And then in season two, when I see this as the centerpiece, I was like, oh man, this is such a great show. So it went from being a good show, a fun show, to a great show. But it also helps, I guess, to have Lisa Ray as the woman of your affection.
See, like I actually, when they told me that Lisa might be doing it, I was like, okay, so just so you guys know, now that you've put it on the table, I'm not gonna do the show if Lisa is not my girlfriend. Goodbye. I said that to them. I was like, hey, I don't want anybody else, and they were like, and I think that they didn't tell me also for like a really long time when she was deciding whether she wanted to do it or not, because obviously at that point in time she hadn't told anybody. It was because she was having kids, right? So it was this whole thing of she didn't know whether she'd have the time to commit and all of that. So, but eventually she did, which was great for the show and us. But yeah, so I had like put my foot down. Then I was like, if it's not Lisa, then I'm also not there. Sorry guys, like I had to like be a little dramatic with that, because I was like, it has to be her, dude. You know, so yeah. Because I idolized her a lot when I was a kid, like Lisa,
Yes.
like Lisa Ray, dude. Like, are you kidding me? So
Yeah. We were the generation that grew up
yeah, man.
watching Afreen,
After,
right? And
after it was like, dude, like when I met her, also, I was like, in my mind, I was like, no, stop it. What are we doing? Hi. I actually didn't speak to her. This is a story she tells in all interviews also. I didn't speak to her when I first met her. So she came for the reading, and it was a GW mat. We're having a table read. All the actors are sitting around the table, and so there was an empty chair next to me because Lisa was supposed to sit there with her script and everything. And she came a little late because she was unwell, and she actually wasn't going to come for the reading because she was unwell. So she was like, I don't want to make anybody sick. And she came and she sat down next to me, and I had told my producer that I wasn't going to talk to her until we started shooting because I wanted to keep that energy of me having this, like, and I wanted that to take that with me on set, right? So they knew, but I obviously didn't tell everybody else. So when she came and sat down and she was like, hi, and I was like, I didn't say it. I was like, she was like right next to me, and I was like, yeah. And then we did our lines, and then she just like she obviously left, and I didn't say a word. So to this day, she thinks that I was very nervous and I was like shy about meeting her, which is fair enough. Yeah. I just wanted to keep that energy, dude. I thought it was so important. So yeah, it was cool.
I mean, I would have that reaction if I had to romance Lisa Ray and also be gobsmacked by her. So I totally get that. Not everybody gets these opportunities. That's number one. But also, as you just said some time ago, you were ready and that's why you deserved it at that point. So I love that philosophy. I'm going to do more of this, because the world is going through such a tough time right now, Bani. And you don't know which night is going to be a rough one. But I think today, all of us need the big B energy, which is the big Bani energy right now. I need it. I need the big B. Okay, so, yeah. So, I always want to ask you, was the character initially a gym instructor or did it come about because you are so great at fitness? Like, was it written? So what came first? Did Bani come first or the gym instructor?
I mean, predominantly she was a bisexual, and that she was a trainer at that point in time. Yeah, she was a trainer. I mean, they wrote the character for me, is what they said. They were like, "There's only one person we can imagine playing this role, and it's you." So I was like, "Oh, thanks, guys." So yeah, so I mean, and when I read it, so the first draft, the only thing I didn't like about it was she was angry, and then they obviously took care of that, which I really appreciated because then I feel like she became so much more lovable after that. So yeah, so she was always into that, which is another very cool thing that I always get roles that are kind of like they have me as a person in mind when it's written, which is so awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing because let me give you a small example. Even today, people don't get a tattoo because they may not get a job. And to me, this is the exact opposite of that sentiment, which is here are my tattoos, write me a job that is for me. So that's great. I also want to interrupt this at this point because a lot of your fans, and I don't want to disappoint them, want to talk about Valimai.
Oh yeah, Valimai. It's a South film I did. Yeah. With
That is But this is big news. I'm sure people know already, your fans know, but they want to know what's happening with it. So, do you know anything just to tell them?
I actually don't know. Like, I don't know whether it's being. I know that there was a bit more that they had left to shoot still, and I'm sure everybody wants to know what my experience meeting Ajit sir was like. He's just like. There's a reason they call him Thala and whatnot, dude. It's like next level. His energy is phenomenal. He is just he came on set. He shook hands with every single person, like including like our set boys and everything, which was so sweet. And he made us a fire because it was cold one day on set, and there was like I had like this one light on as because like there were no heaters, but it was like cold. And we were like in shorts and stuff, so I was just like, and he was like, "What is this?" I was like, "This is our fireplace. This is the light." We were just sitting here because there were a bunch of ladies who were with me who were from the set, and we were all just like chilling. And he was like, "Oh, why don't we just make you a fire?" And I was like, "What, like an actual fire?" He goes, "Yeah." And he just like instructed one of his guys, "Get me some wood, some container." Like 5-10 minutes later, he's like, "Come, the fire is set outside." And I'm like, "What?" We went outside, and these guys had made like a fireplace for us on set. And I was like, "Who's this person? This is amazing. Like, I want to do that. Snap my fingers. Fireplace, here you go. What else you want?" I was like, "Should have asked for like gold or something, man. What is this?" It was hilarious. It was like so cool. Like, who does that, dude? Like, it was,
And especially,
it was
you know
so
what I love about this is also the fact that I'm South Indian, right? So I know what the fandom for a person like that
sweet.
could be.
It's like I I've never experienced something like that. It's just insane. Like everything is just hello, any updates? Hello, like oh god. But it's like all the time. And those guys had also told me, they were like the set people, the producers. They had told me, they were like, oh, you have no idea how insane it is. These fans for Ajit sir are insane. Like if they even get, that's why we had to shoot in where were we shooting? We were shooting in, we couldn't shoot in his hometown. We had to shoot in like Hyderabad and in other places because we couldn't shoot from where he was from because the fans wouldn't allow it. Like they'd get a whisper of it and then they'd shut shooting down. Like it was like that. So I was like, wow, that's mad. Yeah. Wow. Like I was like, wow, that's so cool. Because it's phenomenal, you know. And just the fact that you would think that a person this has airs or something, but they don't. Like, and I know that people say that about, you know, big stars, that oh my god, he's so humble, he's so this, like he's exactly those descriptive words is what would be used, but it's very hard to imagine it until you meet him. And then you're just like, dude, are you serious? And we were talking about like gardening and plants and stuff because he's really into that. And he'd gone on some like trip on his motorcycle somewhere just for the past few days just because he wanted to, because he loves biking around. It was really chilled out, yeah. And I think that's something to really aspire to be like that and just be really laid back with. And I love it because he looked at what he was doing as his job, and I love when people look at what they're doing as just their job. It's not who you are. You are an actor and you act. That's not all you are. You're so much more than that. And I feel like people just take it to their head and then everything goes to shit after that.
That's
But
true. That's true. You know, but if I don't ask the next question, then, you know, your fans are going to say, Rohini, what's the point, right?
what
So,
guys?
question is, what is up with season 3? When do we get 4 more shots, please? Season
Oh
3.
gosh, you know the number of times you would have been, are you shooting for four more shots right now in New York? I wish I could just say, yeah, we are in a bubble, but we're not. Because we had started shooting, like Manvi was already shooting her bit in Bombay. She was the first one to start shooting. And she, I think, had finished like 10 to 12 days. And then after that, COVID struck again, yeah, and then we had to go into a lockdown, which really sucked. So we literally just got, I think, 2 days or 2 scenes we got to do with all the girls. It was so nice, and I got to do a bit of work with Manvi, which was always fun. It's always so good. So yeah, but it was just too short, man. It was so short that I was like, why? Like I just wanted to be on set and just, because I really like usually, yeah, everybody likes shooting start to finish. Just do it all in one go. Don't give us breaks between. Like continuity is such a, and not just that, this hair situation to like keep it blue and purple. I have to like redo my roots like 3 times now. You know, I was like, oh my god, like I just can't. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, imagine that moment she can't change the hair color for a while now. It's
No, this was supposed to start last year in March, dude. Like,
crazy. You know, I assume, I mean, I think 3 of you, I don't know Kriti so well, but amongst the 4 of you, has there been a real, true camaraderie? And because one would hope that you guys are also friends.
yeah.
Was that important for you?
Yes, 100%. It is very important for me to get along with somebody that I have to shoot with every single day, and I have so many scenes with, for sure. And touchwood, thank goodness, like there's been no problems with me and any of the actors on set. I absolutely love all of them. They're all so different, and they're all like patakas, or all different patakas. You know, one is like a fulgari, one is like an anar, one is like a, you know, a bomb. They're like that. That's exactly how I would describe them. No jokes. So, and you just, I think it's just the way that you approach the situation. So it has a lot to do with what kind of energy you're bringing to the set as well. And then you have to like adjust it according to like what everyone else is going through, and then understand there's a lot, like working with one person on a scene is hard enough, let alone like 3 other girls, you know, with all of that happening. And it's phenomenal. Yeah, like season 1 was like, both seasons have been such a learning trip for me. Like it's just insane. Like I don't have the words because I'm trying to like figure out how to explain what it's like. But it's because everyone has such vast scope in terms of, you know, the way that they act and the way that they think and the way that they process a scene and then the way they execute it, and it's just insane, dude. But yeah, so like over the years, because now it's been what, 4 years, 5, I don't know. So maybe it will be 5 years by the time we shoot season 3. I don't know. So we've gotten we've definitely grown personally in our own lives, and then we bring that growth to the table when we meet and when we shoot. So it has been so good and has been only getting better with all the time that we have spent with each other. And like the 2 days that we got to shoot together literally last month was so good, because it was like we now know things about each other, like the nuances and stuff that we can pick up on, and like we know when we can crack that joke and when we can't, like it's. So I think that kind of understanding obviously comes over time, and it's just cool, man. And I love traveling with people. Like, I think that's the best way to get to know people, is just travel with them. Just go somewhere on a flight and then let the flight get delayed by 10 minutes, let your bags disappear, then let them appear again, and let the hotel booking not be ready and then let it be ready, and then you really get to know a person. That's what I feel. So I've traveled with girls, I've traveled with them, we've changed in like cars and rooms and vans and like, all kinds of situations, like on the side of the road and stuff, like this crazy shit. So they are all like, they're all crazy. They're crazy, and they're just too much fun. Yeah, it's insane. But yeah,
Your fans are like at this point saying, I missed listening to you speaking like this. I don't know if it's a live Instagram session that you're on after a while, but I really appreciate your time.
I haven't done a live in ages. Only for you, Rohini. Only for you, and only
Yeah.
for.
No, that's really kind. I want to also talk about the fact that, today I watched the Friends reunion. Did you watch it?
It's the day's just started, Rohini. So I'm gonna watch it now.
Oh my God. Oh, okay,
Like,
okay. I don't want to tell you too much, but I will tell you something that, perhaps made it the promo as well. Uh, Over time, you wonder who was the favorite Friends character. And they're also, much like For More Shots, Please, an ensemble cast where you have more than two people, right? And ये किसी एक का शो नहीं है, ये दोस्तों की कहानी है. तो For More चारों लड़कियां इंपॉर्टेंट है, कोई लीड नहीं है, कोई दूसरा नहीं है. And what stood the test of time was the love that people had for Phoebe's character. And they spoke about this, and I just felt like this is so important. The reason why Phoebe's character, like, resonated down the ages is because at that time, like, 20 years ago when we saw Friends, her character was different, and she was truly a different person. She dressed differently. She had the three babies of, the triplets of her brother. She had a crazy past. She was not privileged. There were so many of these things about Phoebe that you might say that's an oddball. But over the years, over the last 20 years, what people resonated most with was Phoebe, because they were like, you know what? She was different and so was I. So she was there for all of us who were different. And in a very weird way, I think Umang, for sure, also represents that difference, in people, that you could be different and you could be okay. But it's also an extension of who you are as a personality. You've always striven to be authentic and different. But here's the question. When we look at you, Bani, we draw a lot of strength. A lot of people write inspiration. And I know, as someone who's got that, zimma of inspiration, uh, like, it's a weight, yeah. You're carrying this weight sometimes. It's not always easy to do that. You make it look effortless. I want to ask you where you draw that daily strength inspiration from, number one. And was there a time in your life that you were not this sorted? Because I always think of you as very sorted. Do you remember the time in your life when you were not so sorted? And what saw you through that? So I know this is a very long question, but I really know this.
This is actually a question that I get asked pretty often. Where do you get the inspiration from? Yeah, and so, um, it comes from just wanting to be better. Yeah, just wanting to be better every day, honestly. And it's like, I don't really struggle with that, with the wanting to be better bit, because that is something I know. Like, it's like, if you do something every single day that makes you even a little better, like whether it's waking up a little earlier, going to bed a little earlier, smallest things like that, over, like, if that's like you get 1% better every day, right? So that adds up, and then eventually you become a different person, because you're trying to like instill all of these good habits, and things that work for you in order to make you more productive, or make you feel more settled and calm and aligned, and whatever it may be. um, I think that, so I think that's definitely a very major drive for me, is to just wanting to be better. And I think the reason that I'm able to do it every single day for years on years on years is simply because there is no other driving factor around me at any given point in time, and there hasn't been, because I've been living on my own since I was like 19, since I moved to Bombay. And when you spend that much time on your own, you get to spend a lot of time reflecting. And I mean, I read a lot, like there's books here as well. I listen to a lot of books on Audible and stuff about, well, okay, I'm just going to take a little detour here. So on set once, Prabal was there on season 2, and I love Prabal. Like, he's become extremely spiritual over the years, actually. Like, if you go on his Instagram now, it's like, oh my god,
Yes,
dude,
yes,
इतनी
yes.
बात कर
You
रहे
know,
हो, dude, it's
you mentioned Prabal, and Prabal has such a connection because the reason why I know you is because Prabal and I were part of MTV Feature Hunt, and that's met you for the first time. So this is so beautiful, amazing. Please go ahead.
yeah. So I've known Prabal for ages as well, right? Like, and I've known him when he, like, maybe even like what, 10 years ago, because I was on his show for Disney, right?
Yeah,
Forgot what the name was called, but it was him and Shweta Tripathi and a bunch of other actors or whatever. So I was there for one episode. I remember this. Kya Mast Hai Life? I think that was the show.
that was the
What?
yeah.
That was the show. So anyway, so that's when I met them, and I was like, oh, how sweet and all that. What sweet energy they all had. Cut to, like, I see him on season 2, and obviously I see him on the gram, and like we message every now and then and stuff like that. And when he came on season 2, we were talking about this. We both, our energy has shifted so much, and it was just so nice to just sit next to him and not say anything and just like be on the set, because it was a night shoot. And I remember just sitting next to him and not saying anything. Then we were talking about, hey, so do you meditate? Yeah, so what kind of meditation do you do? Da da da. And like, what have you been reading and stuff like that. And he was just like, so we were talking about, how long we've been away from family and stuff like that. And he goes, there's this saying, and he goes, the one who, the one who lives the one who leaves, or the one who lives away from people or something like that, is the one who tends to, I don't know, goes down the path of enlightenment or something like that. So what the whole meaning of that sentence was basically that the more you spend time not being surrounded by external voices, let alone the internal voice, you become more aware, which definitely has happened for me over the years since I have been living on my own. So I've also realized this, that whether you're by yourself or whether you're surrounded by 87 people or in like a joint family situation or always with people, makes a huge difference on what kind of a dialogue is going on, whether it's external or whether it's internal. So that was one major thing that I have been working on a lot for many years. And I think that has definitely made a huge shift in me as a person, and like, what kind of energy I bring and stuff like that. Also, I mean, I've definitely been meditating since many years. I meditate a lot because it does make a huge difference. It really gives you a lot of perspective, and a lot of huge things have happened in my life. Yeah, like my mom passed away in 2018, which was while shooting season 1, actually. In the middle of that season, she passed away, at the start, actually. So it was just like, there's been a lot, and it's something that you can't not process. When you're going through things like this, you have to process them, you have to learn from them, and you have to learn to appreciate it for what it is, even if it is death. So it's, and that too of a loved one, of your only parental figure, whatever it may be. And then be able to talk about it in a way that will actually help other people, because after all, if it's not something that you can share with people, that they can take away something from, then what is the point? Like, if I sit and talk about this, people will take away more from it than if I talk about, like, I don't know, man, I went out last night, I got wasted. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, it's not just, it doesn't just affect yourself, but it's like for humanity, for other people who are around you. So, and I think a simple thing like like energy is the simplest to understand, and the is the easiest thing to translate. So work on your energy, and like when you understand that, it's just like it becomes very simple, and you want to, why would you not want to be better and offer that to somebody else, and not, and let that other person also be yourself first, obviously, before taking it out. Sorry, I feel like I'm like going on and on about it, but I hope it's making some sense.
No, it is. And as someone who follows you, I think I understand it because this is something that you talk about so often. And yeah, so I kind of get it. And I do hope that, our friends at Kashish will also take this from you because we don't know what battles are, but what everyone's battles are. But I do know, as the queer community in India, especially the followers of the film festival, uh, they find their sort of haven, as we say. You know, the film festival used to be on for so many years, and it used to happen at Liberty Cinema. And Liberty is a beautiful old Gothic style theater in town. It's for the ones who don't know. And you know, that entire cinema used to be houseful. Like, you know, हमाके है कौन लगती थी एक time पर houseful होता था. And then every time I've been there for Kashish, and then suddenly you turn around and you say, wow, there are so many queer people in Bombay, and they can only be, you know, inside a dark theater. And we've seen that evolution of people coming to this festival. And I think that's why this was so important for me to bring you on today's Kashish Film Festival handle, is because this strength or this energy that you talk about, not everybody can, you know, get there, but if they try today, they can start like trying to get there. Different challenges, of course. Everybody has different challenges, but I think this strength would do a lot for the community today who are here because, you know, thanks to you. So thank you for highlighting this, because I know that by your sheer presence, by being on our handle today, a lot more people know about the film festival. Do you think that these spaces are important? Like, these spaces exist. It's tough for people to come out. What do you have to say to people who are not in that position to come out as yet?
I would just say that just because it's difficult right now doesn't mean like it's going to be difficult forever. Just because you can't come out today doesn't mean you won't be able to come out tomorrow. And that's the good news of that's what they say. Like, do you want good news and do you want good news first or do you want bad news first? Nothing is forever. Whatever is true isn't forever. So that's good news and bad news. And that's one of the biggest lessons of life, which is impermanence. So have and just know that whether that situation lasts or not, the only thing that will honestly last is you being true to yourself throughout that situation. So, and I know that this is what the whole thing is, right? Every time, the main reason that people are afraid to come out, literally afraid to come out and afraid to be who they want to be, like, that's, man, this is 2021. Like, why are we even having this conversation? But it's like, for people, it's always got to do with other people. Like, you're afraid to step out because somebody else's feelings will get hurt. Oh my goodness. This life is for you to live. This is for you to live and be and feel however you want to feel. Like, and there's also this saying that says no risk, no reward, right? So you gotta risk it for the biscuit, man. You gotta like stand up and be true to yourself. You don't know what's gonna happen,
Right.
but you do not know what's gonna happen. You cannot shut down your true authentic self living out as bright as you would like to be because you are afraid of what might happen. What is that? What is that? My goodness. I mean, if I ever thought like that, I would not be who I am today. I would not be where I am today. I would not be having this conversation with you right now, you
Yeah.
know. And I feel like I wish there was, I don't know, I wish I could just like hug everybody and be like, just live your life, dude. Like, this is the only one we get. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the only take you get, man. There's no retakes,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's gotta be right now and it's gotta be today. And everyone else gonna have to deal with it.
Well, a lot of fans who've been writing in. Wali, my update is already done. We're going to save this live. You can watch it again. Secondly, she's already told us what's happening with the new season of Former Shots, please. So we're not repeating that. I'm sorry. Thirdly, अगर आप चाहते हैं कि हम हिंदी में बात करें, बिल्कुल हो सकता है. मैं सिर्फ अंग्रेज दिखती हूँ, लेकिन मैं बॉम्बे की लड़की हूँ और मुझे हिंदी आती है. तो और बानी को भी आती है. So don't worry about that. So I was thinking we'll take this to a fun sort of game right now and ask you some really random questions that people could ask you on Instagram, but I want to ask you in live. All right. So number one, have you had your breakfast this morning?
No, I have not. I have not. I usually eat around 12:31 though, so I'm on schedule. Because I
Oh,
have morning routine is very long. So I read, I write, I meditate, all of that. So that's why I wasn't replying to you earlier when you were messaging me. I was like, I can't be on the phone right now. Like, I need to like do my thing. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. My team knows because I was like, guys, Vani's not replying to me right now. And then I said, oh yes, she replied, thank God. And then we had this moment. All right, my second question. Are you working out today?
Of course. Of course.
Work hard. What is the most fun thing you've done so far in New York?
I flew here and then Biden put a restriction, so I can't fly back to my own country. That's the funnest thing I did. So I'm taking refuge in the States right now. So I'm like, please let me be here. I don't know for how long, but I'm here now. Please deal with it. I can't even fly to the UK. I wish I could go see my sister and the kids, but I can't because my UK visa expired in December. So, yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! That sucks! Oh my God, she's stranded in New York, guys. But hey,
What,
man,
what a tragic story.
you know, I mean, truly a story of privilege at this point because we're like, हम यहाँ stranded हो जाते हैं तो हमें बस नहीं मिल रही लेकिन बानी you're stranded in New York ये तो अलग level का मजा आ गया मुझे.
But yeah.
What is the one thing that we must eat if you're in New York? What have you been eating that's fun?
Oh, I have this amazing. There's this Korean restaurant that I was introduced to last time when I was here, which was like a month ago, a month or two ago when I came for my tattoos. Thinking I have 2 week break, I will go get tattoos and come back before we start shoot for season 3, right? Because you can't randomly have new tattoos in the show, right? So I came that time, and that time इतने मजे करे मैंने इतने पैसे खर्चे. I was like, yeah, New York after like so long I'm traveling, yay! Only to figure out that I was coming back like a month later, and now I'm going to be here for a while. So I was like, okay then, let's do this again. So there was this amazing Korean restaurant I was introduced to, and they have these bulgogis and bibimbaps, and they give this amazing pre dinner salad that they give you. And not yesterday, before yesterday, I ordered it, and there was like lotus root in it. They give food with like this egg thing, and like obviously the kimchi, and then there was like these potato thingies, and just so good, man. So I love all the little appetizers they give you. So that has been my absolute go-to. But obviously, people will be like, "You're not eating pizza in New York." I had one slice. One slice. I had one slice like a week ago or something. That was delicious. So yeah.
That's delicious. Are you vegetarian?
No, I'm not.
So then you can eat meat. You just
I
chose to eat.
Yeah, I can eat meat. Obviously, I can, but I kind of prefer not to as much as I can avoid. I avoid dairy products as well. So yeah, I only have almond milk for life and no paneer or anything like that.
Do you make your own almond milk?
No, I do not here. Yeah, in New York, where? Yeah. Oh. Right, I need to buy like a mixie and like a nut seed bag and like squeeze that stuff out. No, it would. But I used to make cauliflower pizza in Bombay when I was there. I went through this whole vegan phase, and then I even bought those like uh, how do you explain it? It's like a sieve, but it's like not malmal ka kapda, but there's some other kind of net bag, and you have to like boil the cauliflower and then blend it, and then like the whole head of cauliflower, and then you put it in this cloth thing, and then you have to squeeze all the water out so that it's only cauliflower. And then you have to like make a dough out of the cauliflower and add some other things to it, and then usme se you have to like roll it out and make like a nice base and then cook it in the oven. Dude, but it's so tasty. Cauliflower and garlic is just like the simplest combination. If you're getting very off track, please continue.
So much fun. No, it's fine because no, the idea is also to get to all of us who love you want to get to know you. So this is about you today. But I have an observation. I've been on a cleanse, an exercise fitness program for 40 days now. Lost a bunch of weight. But what I realized, Bani, is that if you really want to eat right, then all day I just have to make this cauliflower dough. Because I'm like, ये कौन बनाएगा मेरे लिए? So it's
You have to do it, man. But that's really long. 40 days. How many days are you going for?
40 is, I mean, today's day 39.
Acha, oh shoot, one more day, and then what? Then what are you gonna do? Then what?
Then I'm going to continue because, babe, I can't get out of my house without this body. What's the point of this body? मैं अपने घर में हूँ अभी. कोई नहीं. Like, there's nobody seeing this. Like, what the hell? So I gotta keep it up at least till I step out of my house. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think one of our last questions that we had on the list is, tell us your favorite tattoo or show us your favorite tattoo.
Choose one. Oh, that would be this one. It's one I just got last month.
Oh my God! Tell us the story.
So it's Frankenstein and his bride. If you've seen the movie, if you're familiar with it at all, I'm a huge fan of Frankenstein. There's a I just love his story. Like, it's so deep. I actually just started watching Penny Dreadful yesterday on Netflix, which is a show about the origin stories of Dracula and Frankenstein and Dorian Gray and all these other characters, which is so insane. My brother just introduced me to it, and I was just mainly watching it because I love Frankenstein so much. Like, I love his story. He's a man-made monster, and but with a heart, and I just love the whole thing. So yeah, I just got that last.
How lovely. So, Bani, I just want to take this opportunity once again to say that we were, as Kashish, we were so excited to have you. The amount of people who send me questions that ask her about this, ask her about that. So this is truly a joint effort from all of us at Team Kashish. I was just representing them, and I'm so happy that I could just ask you to come live with us, and you agreed. So, and I know that you don't do this very often. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and say that the reason why we love you so much is your authenticity, and honestly, you don't even know what you do for people. So thank you.
I think that's amazing. I have no idea what I'm doing for people, but
तो पता ही नहीं है कि क्या चल रहा है बॉस कौन कौन तुम्हें देख के कह रहा है कि आई नीड टू बी बेटर टुडे
yeah, true. No, but thank you so much. Yeah, it makes me very happy to be able to at least do this, because it's not much. Giving your time to somebody is not a big thing. We treat it as though, like, oh, time is money and all of that. Dude, time is way more than money. Let me tell you that. It's way more than money. And I think that the day people realize that is when, things will be changing for the better. So yeah, more than happy to be here. More than happy to spend all day talking to you, man. If that's what, we can do, then that's what we should do. Lot of love to everybody at Kashish and everybody who tuned in to watch this, to the community, everything. Everyone, you guys are so important and so essential to what makes this community what it is, for everybody who's working so hard on this festival. You guys have no idea what you're doing, so it's like leaps and bounds. It may feel like it's just a small step, but it'll add up. So it's all part of the journey. So thank you guys so much. Thank you.
thank you thank you so our festival is coming up in August. You can of course look up the updates on the handle. Stay well, Bunny, and I know you're stuck in New York, but then Bani J can never be stuck anywhere, so make the most of it. And take care. Have fun. Bye.